Prawo. Panuje powszechne, błędne wyobrażenie, że każdy przepis i rozporządzenie, któremu ludzie podlegają, jest prawem. Jednak jest wiele innych rodzajów prawa, którego ludzie przestrzegają, nie wiedząc, że ich nie dotyczy. Innym błędem jest myślenie, że Konstytucja daje nam nasze prawa. Konstytucja to nic więcej, jak zapis praw, które i tak już posiadamy. Rodzimy się z niezbywalnymi prawami, którymi obdarzył nas Stwórca. Nie zostały nam dane i nie mogą zostać odebrane. Dana osoba może najwyżej wybrać, czy chce z nich korzystać, czy nie. Maritime Admiralty to prawo morskie. Zastępuje je prawo cywilne i obejmuje tylko tych, którzy dobrowolnie się na nie godzą. Z definicji prawo morskie to prywatne, międzynarodowe prawo dotyczące stosunków prywatnych jednostek pływających po oceanie. Przyjrzyjmy się, jak i dlaczego formy prawne dotyczące korporacji, przedsiębiorstw i okrętów nałożono na żywe istoty ludzkie. Stało się tak poprzez formę magii słowa. Proste wypaczenie języka pozwoliło przekonać ludzi na całym świecie, że te międzynarodowe przepisy ich dotyczą. Jednym z panujących współcześnie przekonań jest to, że potrzebujemy licencji, zezwoleń, rejestracji i innych dokumentów, aby móc prowadzić pojazdy, używać publicznych dróg, budować, zakładać firmy czy przedsiębiorstwa. Niestety ta wiara nie jest niczym podparta i jest błędna. Struktura tych wierzeń napędzana jest przez prawo morskie. Ten kodeks prawny pierwotnie stworzono do zarządzania statkami sumującymi w zagranicznych portach w celu importowo-eksportowych. Dotyczy spraw bankowych i handlowych, a nie cywilnych. Gdy dany produkt wyładowuje się ze statku w zagranicznym kraju, to ten kraj bierze za niego odpowiedzialność, wystawiając certyfikat. Ten certyfikat wyznacza datę narodzin produktu pod opieką danego kraju. Pomyślmy, dlaczego wymaga się od nas certyfikatu urodzenia. Słownik terminów bankowych określa certyfikat jako dokument potwierdzający prawo własności. A więc wszyscy posiadający certyfikat urodzenia z definicji są czyjąś własnością. Czyją własnością? Ludzie używani są jako zastaw dla innych krajów, bo USA są bankrutem. Stany Zjednoczone ogłosiły bankructwo 9 marca 1933 roku. To wtedy rząd USA zaczął pożyczać pieniądze od prywatnej korporacji zwanej Rezerwą Federalną. Nie mając środków na spłatę długu, USA zaczęły jako zastawu używać obywateli. Wszelkie świadectwa urodzenia czy ślubu są dosłownie kwitami sklepowymi. Przyjrzyj się podobieństwom paragonu ze sklepu, a świadectwa urodzenia. Oba zawierają datę wydania, numer seryjny, numer pokwitowania, opis produktu i podpis upoważnionego urzędnika, który zawiadamia odpowiednią agencję rządową. Pomimo łatwej dostępności tych informacji, większość ludzi nie zdaje sobie sprawy, że podlega prawu morskiemu. Dzieje się tak z powodu manipulacji językiem. Prawo morskie zmienia znaczenie słowa osoba z naturalnej, żywej osoby na korporację. Prawa jazdy, dowody rejestracyjne, polisy ubezpieczeniowe, zezwolenia budowlane, pozwolenia na broń czy na pracę, dokumenty podatkowe, certyfikaty narodzin i zgonu, mandaty i wiele innych rodzajów dokumentów, które, jak kiedyś wierzono, były absolutnie konieczne, mają zastosowanie tylko do osób prawnych lub korporacji. Po podpisaniu takiego dokumentu pośrednio oddajesz swoje konstytucyjne prawa i obniżasz swój status na bycie korporacją, o dokładnie tej samej nazwie, co twoje nazwisko. Jedynym, co odróżnia Twoje prawdziwe nazwisko od nazwy korporacji, jest to, że nazwa korporacji pisana jest samymi wielkimi literami. Jest to tak zwana capitis deminutio maxima. Zauważ, że na Twoim prawie jazdy, świadectwie urodzenia, ubezpieczeniu i innych widnieją same wielkie litery, reprezentujące korporację o Twoim nazwisku, a nie Ciebie. Korporacja jest tak zwaną osobą sztuczną, a Ty jako istota ludzka jesteś osobą naturalną. Oszustwo sięga głębiej, jeśli chodzi o sądy. W sądzie są krzesła dla świadków za drewnianą barierą. Oskarżony musi przekroczyć tę barierę i stanąć po tej stronie, gdzie siedzi powódz oraz sędzia. Takie działanie symbolizuje wejście na statek. Teraz można działać na podstawie prawa morskiego. Sędzia odgrywający rolę kapitana lub bankiera odpowiada za ustanowienie równowagi między stronami. To dlatego każda sprawa sądowa ma związek z pieniędzmi. Kapitan zajmuje się wyłącznie dysputą bankowo-handlową. Gdy rachunki zostają wyrównane, sprawa zostaje zamknięta. Żeby nie podlegać w sądzie prawu morskiemu, które nie chroni Twoich praw, musisz unikać zgody, by reprezentować sztuczną osobę. Robisz tak, stwierdzając, że jesteś osobą naturalną. Nie masz imienia ani nazwiska, ponieważ one oznaczają nazwę korporacji. Przed sądem możesz poprosić o zaprotokołowanie Twojej honorowej przysięgi. Każdy sędzia musi złożyć przysięgę, by praktykować prawo, ale musisz jasno poinformować sąd i przysięgę, że sędzia działa jako sędzia, a nie jako bankier. Pamiętaj, że jesteś naturalną, ziemską istotą ludzką. Nie rządzi tobą nic oprócz twojej świadomości. Prawa tworzone są wewnątrz społeczeństwa. Społeczeństwo, które stworzyło współczesne prawo, nazywamy społeczeństwem prawa. Ale najpiękniejszym elementem całego tego oszustwa jest fakt, że nie jesteśmy częścią społeczeństwa prawa, więc ich prawo nas nie dotyczy. Sędziowie, prawnicy i organy ścigania są częścią społeczeństwa. W tym społeczeństwie stworzyli swój własny język, oszukańczo podobny do angielskiego. Mają swoje przepisy, akty i regulacje, które wyglądają jak prawo, ale odnoszą się tylko do osób z tego społeczeństwa. To oznacza, że mandaty drogowe, ograniczenia wiekowe i wszystko oprócz niszczenia innych osób lub mienia nie dotyczy osoby naturalnej. Prawa dotyczą tylko osób spośród społeczeństwa prawa. Gra, która się toczy, jest iluzją. Możesz po prostu wybrać, by otworzyć oczy i odzyskać wolność, z którą się urodziłeś, a ograniczoną jedynie Twoją własną wyobraźnią. To tylko kilka przykładów zapewniających, że Twoje prawa są chronione. Jak dotąd najlepszą metodą obrony przeciwko tym oszustwom jest świadomość przekrętów językowych i świadomość tego, jak formułujesz swoje wierzenia i koncepty. W religii i polityce ludzkie poglądy i przekonania niemal zawsze pochodzą z niesprawdzonej drugiej ręki, od władz, które same nie badały sprawy, tylko przejęły poglądy od jeszcze innych, których opinie nie są warte złamanego grosza. Mark Twain. Wszystkie rodzaje przekrętów językowych odbijają się wewnątrz psychiki.
Yep. He's got a phone. You're the highest authority of the court now.
I am now the highest authority of this court, as the judge has not, or the magistrate has not shown me their writ of commission or their bonding agreement. I dismiss the case. All right. The magistrate is abandoning ship, abandoning the court. Just go inside. Please wait here, everyone. Abandoning the ship, abandoning the court. I am the highest authority here now, and I dismiss the case.
I want the police to have him removed from the court, and I'll come back here so that I can deal with the rest of the work that I've got to do. Thanks.
Just case dismissed.
Case dismissed.
Give me a direction now to remove yourself from the court, otherwise you'll be arrested.
For what? For what?
Case is dismissed.
Arrested for what?
Court
Disobeying
dismissed.
a direction from the
Thanks.
tried to clarify this a few times, but apparently the level of incompetence.
So your name is Keith Thompson?
My name is Keith. That's all. Nothing more, nothing less.
You don't have a last name, sir?
I have a family name, clan name, but that's irrelevant today.
So you are not Wilfred Keith Thompson?
Okay, one more time on and for the record, I am Keith. Nothing more.
And sit down, sir. I'm looking for a Wilfred Keith Thompson. Please sit down, sir.
Actually,
please sit down, sir.
Sorry. Can't do that. I served into the court this morning.
Sir, I'm looking for a Wilfred Keith Thompson.
Bailiff,
you are not that
this is
person. Sit down, sir.
Bailiff,
please remove this gentleman from the courtroom.
Thank you. That's the person you're looking for.
Please,
sir, that is the person. I'm trying to remedy things. Touch me and you will be charged. I'm a peace officer. You want to dishonor a court official?
The defendant's on the bailiff's desk.
Sir, are you here on behalf of Mr. Thompson?
I said I was the administrator for that account.
Are you here as agent for
Could
him?
you guys please back up? Thanks.
Are you here as agent for him?
Not as agent, as administrator, much like you are administrator of this court.
Sir, you're either him or you're here as his agent to
As his
speak on his
administrator.
behalf. Are you either of those?
Yeah, it's lawful.
Pardon?
Yeah, he's in common law jurisdiction, which I established as soon as I came in here this morning and reestablished again. The bailiff understood me. This other bailiff, wherever she went, she understood me as well. And this gentleman doesn't like talking.
We're going to take a recess. Thank you.
Thank you. All rise.
How long?
How long, sir? I don't have all day, thank you. I have things to do.
We'll take the court.
Yeah, actually,
This court will recess
please
until
note that the
recalled.
judge has abandoned the court. He has abandoned ship, and I, as the sovereign in this room, claim authority. Case dismissed with cause and prejudice. Have a nice day. See you later.
That's the way it's done.
See, I'm going to leave off, but I'll start making my way down from Plaza.
No matter. I stand as myself and speak for myself in myself. And I am not the trustee over the all caps name that you're operating on.
Well, you're here in court today because you were charged with some charges.
I'm here in court today because I am making a special visitation. This is not an appearance-only spirits affair. Living men, living persons make special visitation. That's why I'm here, to make sure that you guys don't tander my truthful, proper names.
Do you still live at 28 Flying Eagle in Manhattan?
That is a storage unit that I sleep in from time to time.
All right.
I live in myself in this body. I am the living man.
Mr. Talgate, you were here. You were seen by Mr. Putz on 9/3/13, and you asked, at that time he appointed you a public defender. Did you apply for the public defender?
What use have I for a voice of ruin? They
Very
can
well.
only speak
That's your
fictitious
choice.
legalese to you. I speak natural living man's English to you. It's called common English. That's the only thing that I work in.
That's fine.
There will be no legalese used here.
Well, you were charged on the 31st of August of 2013 with obstructing a police officer in violation of 45-7-302. You were also charged on the same date with resisting arrest in violation of 45-7-301 of the Montana Code.
Those men were charged by me right back by staging an overthrow of the Constitution of 1789, an overthrow of the Bill of Rights, an overthrow of my rights to forage for food as a natural living person who was in hunger. I was searching for something to put in my stomach, as I am recognized to be allowed to do by universal law, has nothing to do with your corporate fiction. They violated everything, and furthermore, for your knowledge, they violated Judge Holly Brown's Title 26 United States Code ruling, which I went before her and prevailed on 21st March 2011. DPO 9-58A is the case number wherein she evidenced that I am not a taxpayer because I am not a federal citizen. Federal law trumps state law at every turn. I have 9 judge rulings to that end, and that trumps state law. I am not registered crap. I am the living man, and I have the right to forage for food when I'm hungry.
All right. But you're here on different charges.
This
is not Holly Brown's courtroom.
Ma'am, you can argue this all day long. You're operating on a corporate fiction.
I'm telling you, you're here on some charges which were filed in Three Forks.
I do not understand those charges.
Number one, you keep interrupting me, and I'm going to charge you with contempt, and you'll go to jail.
Contempt of court is spelled C-O-double-N. I know about conning. That's navigation.
Sir,
contempt is the storm.
I said, be quiet until I get through.
Don't touch me. You ain't a gun. Don't you touch me. I am the living man protected by universal law.
You keep talking, and you're going to be charged with contempt, and you're going to go to jail.
You have already contempted this place.
No, I told you I would if you didn't
quit talking. Here. These are the living witnesses to what you're trying to do.
You
are trying to create a fictitious, fraudulent action. You are trying to bilk the Federal Reserve by securitizing in all caps commercialized name and notifying them that they are standing in debt now. If you touch me, you will violate natural law. Do not come near me. I am protected by the land. Do not tell me to shut up. I am the living natural man, and my voice will be heard. That is the Jolly Roger. That thing you call the American flag with the gold fringe around it is the Jolly Roger, and you are acting as one of his privateers.
Okay. You're here on the charge of arrest.
I'm here by special visitation.
Right. And
I've never let you get away with this.
You bet I'm here. To each charge could be up to a $500 fine, up to 6 months in jail.
I do not understand any charges. I only understand universal law and the right to live.
Well, you
to
pled
live
not
at peace
guilty.
And to live as I need to.
You pled not guilty in this
I never plead. Animals plead. Sound like bah, oink oink.
I have a paper with your signature on it, sir.
It says prime evidence standing right through it. You bring forward all natural forms of evidence that I'm not prime evidence. I am the living soil. The dirt, the water, and the air has its own voice, does it not? It all supports forms of life, does it not? I am a part of that life. I am not your corporate fiction.
Sir.
Do not hinder me.
You're here today on an omnibus hearing. You've already pled not guilty.
I am here by special visitation to see to it that you do not tainter my natural living man's name. It cannot be done.
Excuse me for just a moment.
No way. Get back here and finish this. Hey, get back here and finish this. The judge has left the courtroom. There you go.
You won.
Yeah.
There is nobody in this courtroom. The judge has walked out.
The judge has walked out.
I said no excuse.
Everybody up and out.
I'm not letting you go.
Up and out. That's it. Up and out. Up and out. Follow the man. Get your hand.
What's that? You're witnessing history here.
Thank you.
On the road. Yeah? But the word vehicle isn't defined. Go to your legal dictionary, you'll find a vehicle is another commercial term. So driving is a commercial activity. So if you're a taxi driver, you're a driver. If you're a bus driver, you're a driver. If you're getting in your car and going to the shops or going to work, you're not a driver. So now, it's only that you associate yourself with this name, driver. Now you come under the terms of the Road Traffic Act.
obviously my only concern is that the vehicle's insured for the safety of the public. If there was to be an accident, that there's some kind of...
Is that required of a private traveler?
If you have a vehicle on the road, yes.
Is this a vehicle or is this consumer goods? Because it's deemed by Supreme Court rulings that a private automobile is consumer goods and a vehicle is deemed equipment used for commercial uses.
So this isn't a vehicle?
No, this is my private property. I paid for it, I maintain it, I take care of it. I'm not being paid in any way whatsoever any time I go out and use it.
Okay. Like I said, man, my only concern really is just the insurance, just because, I mean, if you were to get into an accident...
I understand all those, that's why I'm an extremely safe traveler. I complain and I bitch about most of the people you guys give licenses to out here.
Alright, man. Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Alright. Hey, I just honestly thank you for honoring your oath. I mean, a lot of cops, from what I've seen from my responses online, think that I'm a heinous criminal just because I want to get from point A to point B.
No, it sounds like you're doing, you know, what you have a right to do.
Yeah, and I'm taking the precautions I need to do it.
My only concern is just for the public.
Yeah.
That you've got the insurance, but you know you're within your rights. And I hope you have a good day. Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
You have a good day.
I was an awesome cop.
That was a cop that didn't understand what I was doing, went back, got what information he needed, and came back and realized that I'm doing what I have the right to do.
And the officer. And we're on our way.
It sounds like you're doing, you know, what you have a right to do.
Yeah.
But, you know, you're within your rights. And I hope you have a good day. Okay.
All right, thank you.
So what you're saying then is that you're no longer a driver?
I'm no longer a driver. I've rescinded my driving licence. I sent it back and terminated the contract that goes with it. So I'm not a driver anymore. I never was a driver. I just thought I was a driver, but I'm not.
Can't they just come along and crush your vehicle or crush your car and stuff? Or like...
No, because it's been deregistered. It's no longer registered with the DVLA. It is no longer a publicly owned motor vehicle. Okay, it's now a privately owned conveyance. It's my private property. So they've got no jurisdiction over my car.
How are you?
How you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
Can you roll this down a little bit and talk to me?
No, I feel comfortable with it just how it is right there.
I can't hear you.
So I feel comfortable with it just how it is.
Has the registration, but the traveler doesn't need to have registration. He can travel anywhere he wants. There is no law to stop him.
This name is the driver.
Yes.
And this name here, this living man breathing, he is the traveler.
Traveler, yeah.
So unless you are being paid to drove the sheeps on the Roman roads, because anyone who was making commerce on Roman roads, they had to pay tax. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Those are good roads. But if you're going to travel to see a friend in another town, and there's a beautiful Roman road in between, and you're just traveling, you're not making money, well, then you're traveling and you're not making a profit. Unless it can be proven that you are doing commerce, you can be taken to court. And if they prove that you are guilty, that you're doing commerce, well, then you will have to pay. But if you're not doing commerce and driving your sheep, then you are traveling. So you have to ask the right questions before you get into contract with the policeman, because the policeman will say many things to get you into contract. Hello, sir. Do you realize you were driving over the limit? Well, see, if you answer to that, you're in trouble.
Yes.
Because that's a big contract. That's a very loaded sentence.
He accepts the contract.
Yeah. Firstly, hello, sir, you are the bottom servant and you're in service in the military. You're belligerent. If you accept that title, then you accept what he asks. Do you realize, another suggestion to come into contract now, that you were driving commercially?
Commercially, yeah.
over the limit, and the limit is a code which belongs to the commercial system. It's not applicable to travellers. You see? So you're not being paid. And so don't answer, because if you answer...
You're swearing, yeah?
If you answer, you are swearing. But if you ask, you are the king. This is why the policeman, who is a representative of the king, the crown, the king wears a crown, he works for the crown, so he must be a constable or one sent forth by the crown. And that's why he's asking questions. He's not answering any of yours. Hello, sir. I stopped you to help you with any questions you have today. How can I help you? Sir, I'm in service to you. So, he that swears is swearing against God. Swearing means answering. It's the same word.
Yeah.
And so you have to assume the role as king. Otherwise, because the king has rights, he's the sovereign. Okay, the one swearing, answering, he's a citizenship because he's in service. We've been conscripted through this military martial name. We've been conscripted. And so in court, when you get on the ship and you go into court, you best not be belligerent. And you want to plead guilty to the facts, because if you plead not guilty, they get a lot more business, because they thrive on your not guilty plea, because now you're belligerent.
Oh, it is right there.
I still can't hear you. With all the traffic, I can't hear you.
You pulled me over on the freeway. What can I do?
What's that?
You pulled me over on the freeway. What can I do?
I didn't pull you over, sir. I'm the supervisor. You called.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
So
what can I help you with?
Before we start this, can I get your name and badge number, please, sir?
What's that?
May I get your name and badge number, please, sir?
You want my name and badge number?
Yes, sir.
Shane McConnell, 15012.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, now we need to see your license, okay? You got stopped for traffic violation, understand?
I understand that.
Okay.
But
So
I
here's
have
what
my
you need to do.
seatbelt on.
Hold on, listen to me. Okay? Once you're pulled over and we request information, you need to supply that information to us, okay?
You sure?
Okay.
Are you sure?
Am I sure?
Yeah, I'm asking if
Yes,
you're
I'm
sure.
sure.
No, that's not how it goes.
Here's the deal.
Okay?
Do you have that registration, insurance, and driver's license on you?
I'm not driving. I'm traveling. There's a difference.
Okay.
I'm not committing commerce
You're on
the highway.
road and you're driving. You're going from one location to the next.
I'm traveling from
So here's
point
the
A
deal. I need to see
to
your
point
license
B.
registration, okay?
Okay, I'm going from point A to point B.
What can I call you by?
Excuse me?
What can I call you by?
Law-abiding citizen.
Okay, so listen. Do you have a name?
Yeah, but I don't wish to give it.
Here's the deal. You want this to go easy? I'd sure like it to go easy. Okay,
Think
just
anybody
provide the
would like it.
information so you can get a traffic citation, and then you'll be on your way.
I didn't commit any traffic violations.
You weren't wearing your seatbelt, from what I understand.
Okay, I have it on video that I was wearing my seatbelt.
At this point in time, yes, you have your seatbelt on.
Okay, but prior, I have it on video that I had my seatbelt on.
Why would you have it on video? How could you have it on video?
Because when I pulled over,
Uh-huh.
I can't do this, and this at the same time.
No, it's illegal.
Exactly. So I already had it on.
So you can't operate a hands-free device.
Thank you.
Okay. So how could you have proof that you had it on while you were traveling?
Well,
you can't.
I don't answer
Correct?
questions. Yeah. I don't answer questions.
All right.
If you want to
So
play that
here's
way,
the option.
I don't answer questions. Nothing happens.
Here's the other option.
Okay.
If you don't provide the information we need,
Yeah.
there's a likelihood you'd go to jail. Because we don't know who you are. Until we get the information.
This is not a stop and identify state. You do understand? In order for you to get any identification from me, I have to be articulate,
I lost you right there. I
suspectable,
can't hear you with that traffic.
crime. Okay? There is no crime that has been committed here, And with that being said, you can't get my identification without a crime. I have to tell you that. You have the badge. I don't. And I know this. Your job is to collect revenue from me. Okay? That is your job. You are not protecting, no, you are not serving right now at this point.
Yes, I am.
How are you serving me right now? To serve me a citation and try to collect revenue from me?
I'm not collecting anything.
What's a citation for? Court fees. What is that?
Thanks. Am I breaking any laws today?
Committing offences, yes.
No. I asked you if I'm breaking any laws, sir.
You're committing offences.
No.
It's not a criminal offence.
Am I breaking any laws of this country today, sir? Under what law?
Sorry?
Under what law?
Excise Act.
Act. So you're trying to impose statutes and acts on a living man. I've already told you I'm under common law.
Your tax is well out of date.
It doesn't matter whether my tax is well out. No, it doesn't, sir. No, it doesn't, sir. I do not consent to statutory acts because they're laws of the sea. Do you not know the law, sir?
I don't know this law of the sea you're on about.
Oh, so you don't know statutes and acts? No, mate, no. No, sir, you need to be here under common law.
As we've explained.
I don't break laws, sir. Yeah, but rules and statutes and acts are law of the sea. I am not dead, sir. I'm alive.
There we go, getting stopped. I don't know what for. Sir, I'm not required to by law.
Yes, you are, sir.
I am not.
I'm gonna check.
I've been through this many times.
Okay, please put your window down.
I don't feel safe. So here's my hands. They're going to be on the steering wheel.
I need your registration also.
Okay.
Could you send me an 94, please?
Why am I being stopped?
For speeding, sir. You slid right past me and you were going 65 miles an hour. It's a 50-mile-an-hour speed limit.
Okay. Here's everything I got.
Okay.
And here's my hands, okay?
You want to tell me
wait,
what
here's
the problem is with rolling your window down?
Here's everything I got. Here's all my paperwork. I'd rather just remain silent from here on out.
Okay, is this your?
I'm going to remain silent from here on out.
Well, you need to tell me if this is your current address, though. If I ask you, I'm not asking you to any questions about any crime. Okay.
I'm still allowed to remain silent, sir.
You could remain silent.
I can remain silent at any time, sir.
I don't need to give you your Miranda warnings. I'm just simply getting your identification, which includes your current address and telephone number.
Sir, with all due respect, I've given you everything I'm required to give you by law.
I'm inquiring as to whether this is current or if you live somewhere else.
And I answered.
No, you didn't.
I did.
No, you said you weren't going to tell.
This is how the system works. Pay attention here. This is where you will understand. There's the Triple Crown: Rome, London, Washington. Ecclesiastical, financial, military. The Vatican, London City, corporation. Washington, D.C., corporation. Vatican, corporation. Here we have the Pope. He's your big daddy. Here we have the Queen. She's your big mummy. Here we have the President. He's your big brother, Uncle Sam. Here, the Vicar of Christ. Here, the Defender of the Faith. Here, the Protector of Liberties, the Statue of Liberty. Not freedom, liberties. Thank you, Jordan Maxwell. Here, you have an ecclesiastical system. Financial and the legal profession. Here, they run the military and the industrial complex and big pharma. And you can see the name Farnese in pharma. And you can see
that's a connection.
And you can see the name Medici in medical big pharma. Okay. Here you have maritime law. Those that rule the ships of the sea. Admiralty, those that rule the law, the rules on the ships. And here you have martial law, which they now administer on the land because everyone is belligerent. Here you have the Ministry of the Faith, saving people in the salvage business who are lost at sea, SEE. Here you have the Ministry of Finance and those who are lost at sea in the maritime waters. Here you have the Ministry of Defence, lost in action, AWOL, deserters, defectors. Here they save souls, heretics. Here they save property. Here they save people. Here they are the inquisitors. Here they are the pirates. Here they are the mercenaries. Here, sinners and heretics, goy, Gentiles, renegades, non compos mentis are saved by the inquisitors in the salvage business. Here, the pirates, they collect your debts in the bankruptcy because you are incompetent. You can't do that. So they'll settle the ledger. Here, the mercenaries, they will save the belligerent, hostile wards of the state. Okay, that's how the system works.
There's bond numbers all over here, QSIP numbers, bank numbers. You've been monetised, you've been enslaved by the birth certificate. It is a death certificate. Please go to the registry and get yourself, acquire a live birth record, because that will bring you out of their jurisdiction into the land of the living.
But do you think that legal argument is going to...
It's not a legal argument, it's lawful, it's the law, and it's time for wakey-wakey in this world, because that's why wars are being generated all over the place, to support this bullshit. It's a crock of shit, the whole system. It's Vatican system owned. You have been enslaved. Everyone who has a birth certificate has been enslaved. Everyone has been enslaved by their birth certificate bonds. This is a death certificate. Folks, what you need to do is be wise and go to the registry and get yourself one of these. There you go, a live birth record stating that Santo Bonacci is living, not a stillborn. Let's see what they do with a living man. Wake up, folks, it's time to be living. Time to be in the land of the living, not in the land of the dead. We have the power to make money. What we have done is we have deferred this to the banks, i.e. one bank, the Reserve Bank. The Reserve Bank has no reserves. It's not a bank. It is a fraudulent corporation operating in this country, owned by the Rothschilds and the Windsors and the Rockefellers, and they are the only ones benefiting from us using and paying with cash. How you pay is you discharge against your bond. Your birth certificate is a bond. You have more value in here than any fine that they can give you in any court under the sun. This is your value. It's your life. They stole this from you. When you were born, you were issued one of these. This is a birth certificate. It should be called a death certificate. You have been monetised through that instrument. You are money in the eyes of banksters. You know the banks pay $6 million for these from the hospitals, and you know how much they get turned around? These are securities on the stock market. You're making $6 billion by the time you retire for the Rothschilds, mate. They've got plenty of gold taps and champagne and caviar and cigars in their mansions, while a good portion of humanity are starving to death. And wars that the Rothschilds are perpetrating on the planet. All those wars, Syria, Afghanistan, Libya. There's only one family in this country that benefits from tollways, and that's the Salteri family. One criminal mafia family that gets all the benefits. None of that goes to paying taxes or for infrastructure.
So that means that they treat us as somebody else.
Yeah, this concordant with your country and the Vatican, this concordant is a law that is inferior to your national sovereign law, and the system you are now under called Unidroit. Unidroit is registered in Rome with the Vatican.
Mm-hmm.
And this is now you are being administered by maritime and admiralty law. Maritime law looks after ships, all the ships on the sea.
Mm-hmm.
And this is admiralty, this now. Now there is an admiral who is looking after this territory. You see, so maritime law, which comes from Mary, the harlot in Revelation who sits on many waters.
Uh-huh.
This is maritime law, and it governs all the ships on the seas, maritime law.
So this word Mary, it has the double meaning, or just meaning of the water, sea, and another meaning also?
Well, that's Mary. And Mary is the pure virgin, but on the other hand, it's the harlot who sits on many waters, because the harlot is the Vatican, because the Vatican signs concordance with other countries, like your country, to take you out of the law of the land and to put you in the law of the sea. SEE. Admiralty law is the law for the boat, for the ships. This is the law on the ships. So now, maritime, which rules all the ships on the ocean, now have this law here as the law on the ship. And ship comes from warship, you see?
Yeah.
Backwards here, Mary is Mars.
God of wars.
Huh?
God of war or fight, yeah, this is the kind of analogy.
The eagle, the insignia of the eagle of Rome is the same as the eagle of the United States Corporation, the military. Mars, martial law. Maritime is also martial law. It's a war on the seas. So Mars is the god of
war,
water, water, same thing. So they make a warship to go over to bring admiralty law, because now admiralty law applies to this land, because now this is a ship, because they make citizenships.
We will see in the near future all the ships in the world, meaning this ship connected with sea. And in Australia, the Aborigines they had the natural law, and so now this law is against the Aborigine. That's why it was many disasters and murders of destroying the culture of native Aborigine.
Yeah, it's see they did. This is not a treaty. No treaty was signed here. Admiralty law came over the law of the ship, because this is now a ship, okay, where people have a citizenship. Because when you go over in your boat, you have citizens in the warship, and see, the admiral, he sets up a judiciary, and they call him your worship. So when you go into the docks in a court, you're going onto a ship because you are a citizen in the ship. And so you have to enter into and get on board a ship into the jurisdiction of the flag that's in the court, which is the Admiralty flag. It has a gold trim around the edge. That means it's Admiralty law. It's the law that governs the ships of the seas. And we have been turned into vessels of trading and commerce through our birth certificate bond, which is a citizenship. Now, what's happened is, when you go to court, you're in a boat, controlled by maritime martial law, and you are a belligerent and a hostile now, and directly in control of Admiralty administration receivership law. So now, originally you were born over here on the land, and you have a name. My name is Santo. My parents, my father named me, since I was the firstborn, after his father, Santo Bonacci. Bonacci is a family name.
Yeah.
But they call it a surname. Sir is the same as sir. It's a title. See, what they do is they turn this into an office of the Inquisition. Because through this Admiralty law, the pirates are doing business illegally on stolen land, and they have brought, through Admiralty financial debt law, they have brought the Inquisition from over here. Rome, Mary, Mars, the eagle of Rome, is the eagle of the Congress of the United States Corporation, 1871. So, now you are Mr. Mr. is a title. This is a title. This is a title. I am not Mr. Santo with a surname, Sir Bonacci. These two, these belong to the Vatican. These are titles. And they will bring you onto this ship through this all caps corpse corporate name. This is a decapitation, dead man, corpse.
Corpse, yeah.
So, since the Vatican does not have any claim over your given Christian name, nor does it have any claim on your family name, it joins the two through this device. Now, this is on the ship because this is a citizenship. They have copyrighted this version.
Yes.
Just a version of the name. Here is a sir, a title. Here is now a Mr., because they also do this.
So sometimes it's very often the police stop somebody on the street, and then they talking to lady and woman and man, they calling sir.
You should be calling the policeman sir. We need to call the policeman sir, because sir is they are serving us. They need to be in service to us who are free men.
Yeah.
Not them calling us sir. Do not accept from a policeman to call you sir, because by doing so, you are accepting a surname, and you will be surety. You will go sure for someone else's debt. And the Bible says, do not go surety for someone else's debt. Okay? So, what they've done is they've joined this together. You see? This is my full lawful name, and it's my Christian name. Christ is the savior of this name because it's on the land. This one here cannot save. This is the dead name. It's a corpse. This capitis diminutia maxima.
Capital letter.
Capita is the head. Decapitate means take off the head. This is decapitated. It's dead.
Yeah.
Because this is sign language. This is not language. It's not descriptive text. This is descriptive text. This describes a living man breathing on the land. This one here is a citizenship. Citizenship on the ship. On those pirates, they weren't just angry men who wanted to get rich. They were the Rothschilds, the Windsors, the Orsini, the Borgia, the Colonna family, who became the Columbus family, who now are the Knights of Columbus in Washington, D.C., District of Columbia. They run the plantation of Columbia, Columbia Pictures, British Columbia, the nation of Columbia, which is the most corrupt because the family of Columbus, Colonna from Genova, Italy, the mafia, run these, and they do it by debt. Here, they run a salvage business where they salvage what is lost at sea. Here, they run a salvage business saving your soul when you are lost at sea, the Holy See, the Roman Curia. And so this is the Inquisition. This is ecclesiastical law. Mary, the Virgin Mary, this is our Mother who art in heaven. This is ecclesiastical. It's religious. It's the Inquisition. And it's martial. You see, Mars is ram backwards. Aries.
So this is kind of game what they play with us also, and we can accept it or not accept it. But most of the people don't know this, so they agree to play in this corporate game. Because the driver, of course, he has the obligation because he has
some slides with you. Okay, so let's do that.
Okay. I see.
Okay, so what we have here is the three Sestwick v Trust. The first one in 1455 is Romanus Pontifex. And this is the first testamentary deed in history. The first crown. It's a triple crown, okay? This is the first trust. In 1481, Attorney Regis, the second trust. This one takes your personal property. The first one is real property. The second trust of the Triple Crown controls your personal property. Then in 1537, the Jesuits and the Farnese family made convocation. Pope Paul III, this is the man who started, who funded Copernicus, and the globe. He made Convocation this trust. The Jesuits, he also made the Jesuits with Ignatius de Loyola. He funded Martin Luther, John Calvin. He excommunicated King Henry VIII. He started the Protestant Reformation, the Counter-Reformation, and he convened the Council of Trent, which is the Inquisition, the Farnese family. And this is the third one that takes away your soul, and you will be lost at sea.
Yeah.
Okay? Here we have the City of London, Vatican, Canon Law City, and Washington District of Columbia. Columbia is Colon. Cristobal Colon is the Colonna family, one of the richest and most powerful families in the history of this world, who have made many popes and cardinals and archbishops all around the world from the Colonna family, who were fighting with the Orsini family for hundreds of years until by papal bull they were ordered to stop shedding blood in the streets of Rome and killing each other. And these became the Ghibellines and the Guelphs, and the Guelphs became the Windsors and the Rothschilds and the Rosenbergs, and they are the Orsinis.
Wow.
And the Colonna became the Ghibellines, and these are the Columbus family of the Knights of Columbus, and they also rule the world. And here is their district, the military martial district, their stranglehold. The 3 states control the world.
Egyptian symbol of phallus.
Yes, and it is the penis of Osiris coming out of the water. There is a watermark on every obelisk, and that watermark is the maritime sea level. So everything that is under that level, which is all the land, becomes maritime law. So wherever that obelisk is the control of Admiralty law. It means Admiralty law is ruling on that land. And it means that everyone who is walking on that land is assumed to be a belligerent in the citizenship. Okay? Okay, so on the left here we have the live birth record. This is the living side. Okay, this is the 2 sides. You have the private side and you have the public side. Okay, the public side is on the right. This is the debtor side of the ledger. This is a ledger, okay, an accounting ledger book. On the left you have the book of life. On the right you have the book of death. The birth certificate. It's a death certificate. It's a title created by the state. On the left, you have a title created by life. It's a title and a deed. It's your life. A baby is born, endowed. On the right, cargo, birthed, delivered. On the left, living, your mother autographs to establish that you are the holder of your estate in due course. On the right, the dead side, informant autographs as indictment that you have no paternal holder of your estate. On the left, the living, mother gives maiden name which indicates a bastard, later stillborn, on the register. On the right, register signs your estate into probate and you become a ward of the state. On the left, you are given a lawful name. A lawful given name is privately recorded, traditionally in a family name Bible. On the right, the dead side, name is corporatized. A legal trade name is publicly registered, combining your given and family names. You see, that's the trick. They combine your given Christian and family name, and they are making a crown copyright, property. On the left, your title, your given name, living. On the right, your dead corporate trade name. On the left, the living, you are rightful beneficiary of the trade name. On the right, on the dead side, you are unwitting trustee of the trade name. On the left, the living, format is handwritten in proper grammatical English. Later usage shows your title as unique. John, of family name. On the right, format is either handwritten or typed, and not necessarily all capitals, which is often later used to indicate the legal name. On the left, capitis diminutio minima, the lowest or least comprehensive degree of loss of status, rights of liberty and citizenship unaltered. Black's Law, 2nd edition. On the right, capitis diminutia maxima, the highest or most comprehensive loss of status, changed from one of freedom to one of bondage. Black's Law, 2nd edition. On the left, the dead side of the ledger, the debtor side of the ledger, a sovereign public, excuse me, on the left, the living side, sovereign public trust. At the age of 18, you can become executor of your trust as a free man/woman in your sovereign trust. As the holder in due course in a permanent trust, you can now at any time claim legal title to your estate property. On the dead right side of the ledger, you have a foreign situs trust. A trust is formed by splitting your estate, creating a legal title holder for the state and an equity title user for you. As it is a temporary, not permanent trust, you only have possession, use, not legal title of property. On the left living side, you are beneficiary of sovereign public trust. State is your public servant/trustee with the fiduciary duty to protect and serve you, the rightful beneficiary of your public trust. On the dead right side, state is beneficiary of foreign situs trust. State is holder of your estate, all property, used as surety, surname, surety name, for IMF debt obligations, and is the beneficiary of the situs trust. On the left, dead side, you are born as holder of estate, creditor. Oh, sorry, I said that again. On the left, the living side, born as holder of estate, creditor. On the right, birthed as user of estate, debtor. On the left, this record is used as evidence for a birth certificate that certifies a bond issue. On the right, this certificate is certification of a bond with the World Bank as settler of the trust. On the left, living includes your birth weight in ounces used to calculate value in tables related to gold. On the right, dead side, the settled bond becomes a security that is traded on the market for your value. On the left, inhabitant, born on land with inherent jurisdiction and under common law of the land. On the right, foreigner, alien under commercial jurisdiction and later also Admiralty Maritime Law of the Sea. On the left, this document established your estate, which can then be stolen, but it is also your affidavit of life and proof of claim. On the right, this document converts your estate into a tradable property and puts you to work for the Foreign Situs Trust via the name. On the left, you have inherent right to title. You are holder of your sovereign estate. On the right, title claimed by state, false presumptions, claim, and contract. Okay, so this is what we see. We see how the system has created a de facto system piggybacking on a de jure system. Okay, so what do we got here? Well, the Apostle Peter, he said we ought to obey God rather than men. See, God's law is in the Christian name, the law of the land, the Constitution. That's God's law. The codes and regulations and ordinances and regulations, etc., of Parliament, these are not constitutional. They are men's law. So we don't want to be governed mentally by governments. You see? Soren Kierkegaard said, if you name me, you negate me. By giving me a name, a label, you negate all other things I could possibly be.
Yeah, that's true.
You see, these are all the proofs that we have an ecclesiastical system. The court is an oratory. That's the Inquisition. The clerk is a cleric. The judge is an ordinary. An officer of the church who by reason of office has ordinary power to execute the church's laws. A case is a confession, a hearing. Okay? Here, a hearing is a confession. A warrant is a seal of writ. A writ is a form of indulgence from the Inquisition. A writ is a ritus. It's a rite. It's a ritual. A prayer. A sentence is penance. Absolution is prison. This is all these words. They're all from the Inquisition. A scribe and a notary writes indulgences. Scribo venere. Vene is indulgence. Prosecutor. Prosecutus. Standing in your skin. Standing in for you. To cheat you. To turn you over. Attorney. A bench is the bank. You see? A remittance note. A remittance before God of temporal punishment for sins. It is the instrument or ritual that balances out sin. See, this is how the system works.
Te krzyżak kary, panie, niech będzie kara. Ale Zbyszko z rodu ostatni. Nie będzie jego, nie będzie nas. Pozwólcie, panie, abym na swoją głowę za niego oddał.
Sprawiedliwość to nie smok, który nie patrzy, czyją krew chlebcze. Kto zawinił, tego kara dosięgnie.
A krzyżacka sprawiedliwość. Żmuć, ostre miecze, rozboje.
Mają przywileje.
Bić w nich!
Wam łupy pachną. Nie będziemy narażać Polski na konflikt z zakonem Najświętszej Maryi Panny.
Szlachetny Zbyszko z Bogdańca skazan jest z wyroku sądu kasztelańskiego na ucięcie głowy mieczem.
Stój! Stój!
Na ręczkę mu zarzuciła! To stary zwyczaj! Oddać go jej!
Zamek! Do kasztelana! Pogański kraj, pogańskie obyczaje.
Prawda? Są takie obyczaje, ale stosuje się więcej do podhalańskich zbójników i do prostego ludu.
Spytajcie księdza Stanisława, on jest biegły w prawo.